We're using a Finishline gun by DeVilbiss. We bought it at CarQuest. Before you paint, you need to make sure you drain the water out of your tank. And if you have a water separator, you need to make sure you drain that also. We set our air pressure coming out of the air tank down to 60 psi, and you need to set the pressure going into your air gun at whatever pressure it requires. You need to make sure you stir up your paint really well so that it is evenly mixed. This is how you set up a new gun and figure out all your adjustments. Test spray on cardboard. Make sure you wear a respirator when you paint and have good ventilation. Make sure you play with it enough and get it figured out before you do something that you're going to wreck if you do it wrong. To give you some more tips on using your paint gun, ours, you have to set it at 23 psi, so you set this adjustment here, you turn that knob, you have to be pulling the trigger on the gun as you adjust it, and you adjust it down to 23 psi is what this one has to be ran at. The bottom one adjusts the amount of paint, and then the top one adjusts the shape of what you're spraying. So what we did when you need to get into an area, so when we were painting we had this one set at about 2 turns out or so. And the top one, when you want to like spray down inside to get down in here, to get way inside of there, like behind the intake manifold and get down in there, you turn this top screw all the way in. And then that sprays it in a really tight circle. It'll just be like a circle and it'll just spray it in there. And you gotta watch it that you don't get too much paint there. It's gotta be really quick. And then for doing the normal, we had it turned out 1/4 turn. And that's what you would use when you're like painting here to paint that whole area or big areas like that there. Another thing, when you're using your gun to paint with, you have to use a different size tip for a different material. You use the 1.8 millimeter fluid tip, which is the one that we have in the gun right now. You use that for spraying primers. You use the 1.5 millimeter tip for spraying paint. Then you use the 1.3 millimeter tip to spray stains, lacquers, base coats, and clear coats. That one there is the 1.3, and then that one there is the 1.5. When you're using your paint gun, you have to read your owner's manual, which is a good thing to do. I don't believe in reading instructions, but for this you really should. You need to take and read the part on preventative maintenance. You read in there you have to lubricate your gun, so you have to buy a special type of oil, and you have to lubricate it right in here on the needle seat there where the needle slides in there. Then you also have to lubricate the lever here where the trigger rotates on. Then you also have to lubricate, there's a spring in here and a spring down in here, and you have to lubricate them also. You have to lubricate these threads and these threads in here, and you have to make sure you keep them really clean. And whenever you put in your tip or take it out and change it, you also have to put a little bit of lubricant on the threads on the tip. And when you ever change a tip in any of these guns, pull the trigger on it so it pulls the needle back, and then take out your tip and turn it out. Otherwise take the needle completely out, because otherwise the tip will rub on the needle and you will wear it down on it and it won't seal properly.